I'm saying that if God created, knowing what would happen, then he's responsible for his creation.
Okay. I think that there is a difference between mechanism and action, right? So to me, with you leaning on foreknowledge, I think of it like this. So I have a young son, and I know his personality well enough to where a lot of times I know what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's say I put him to bed and I say, hey, if you sneak out of bed, I'm going to punish you. And he sneaks out of bed and I punish him. If he gets angry and says to me, this is actually your fault because you knew I'd sneak out of bed, that's very silly. And it's just
Okay, let's use that example.
Life, right?
Let's say sneaking out of bed was the worst possible evil ever. It isn't, but let's say it was.
Okay.
Like way worse than murder or rape. Sneaking out of bed is bad, bad, bad.
Okay.
And let's say before you even conceived your son with your wife, you knew that your son would someday sneak out of bed. Would you create your son?
This is an odd thought experiment.
It's odd to you because the answer is no.
Okay.
You wouldn't.
Yes. Even if I knew that my son would do bad things, yes, I would still create him.
Okay. I'm just not bad things. I'm talking about sneaking out of bed is the worst possible thing ever. And you, and I forgot to mention this, you don't like that. You do not like sneaking out of bed. In your mind, this is the worst gratuitous sin ever. And let's say most people don't do it. In fact, almost everybody doesn't do it. But you have foreseen perfectly that your son, if you create him, will sneak out of bed. Question, would you create your son?
So is there more than one person that I'm creating in this example? You said most people don't do it, most people won't.
Let's say just your son right now.
Probably not.
Yes, that's the correct answer. You wouldn't create your son.
But if you said that there's going to be 100 people and some of them will and some of them don't, it's a very different question.
Well, I can ask the same question of each parent for all those other 100, and they would say, I hope, the same as you. No, I wouldn't create. Now apply that to your God.
See, but you understand how that's a different question.
Why?
Right?
Why is it different?
Because you're granting individual agency to the creators over only one single creation, I mean. And that's a very different question.
Okay, forget anybody else does it. Just you and your son then, if that's what's
just one son or?
Just one son, just you and your one son. Would you create your one son? You answered no.
Probably not, sure.
Okay, does God like sin?
No, God doesn't like sin. He also created more than one.
How about just a little bit of sin? Is he okay with that? Just a little bit.
Well, what do you mean with okay with?
Does he desire it? Does he want it? Does he like it? Is he permissive of it?
Well, he's often patient. He's often merciful, but no, he doesn't like it. He doesn't want sin, sure.
Okay. In fact, he hates it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does God need people?
No.
Does God have free will?
Yes.
So he didn't have to make people. He could have done otherwise.
Sure.
So he created people knowing with certainty that they would sin, something he hates. And he would have been okay, all right, content, peaceful, happy by not creating.
Presumably.
Yeah. So why did he create?